Today's project is to fix the thumping sound coming from the dryer. I had this issue several years ago and I had to replace the drum rollers. Please stick with me as I go step by step and get this repair completed. First thing is to unplug the dryer. Next, grab a 1/4 inch socket and remove the 3 screws that hold the top in place. With the screws removed, time to remove the dryer top by giving it a slight pull towards the rear of the machine and lifting up. Alright, with that out of the way, time to remove the 3 screws and reposition the computer board. Now we have access to the ribbon cables that connect to the control console and the wire harness that goes to the door. To disconnect the door switch wire harness, grab a small flathead screwdriver and lift up the plastic to get it over these tabs. To remove the ribbon cables, there's a small locking tab you have to push in. I found a flathead screwdriver, worked well for this. Alright, let's move on to removing the 2 screws on the control console. Control console, there's 2 clips, 2 on each side. To disengage them, grab the console, flex it towards you. Okay, time to move down to the bottom of the dryer and remove the access panel by removing the 2 screws that hold it in place. Remove those screws and then remove the access panel by pulling it down and away from the dryer. Time to disconnect the moisture sensor harness by using the flathead screwdriver to release the tabs on both sides. Quick note, when it's time to reconnect these, they only connect together in one way. Alright, time to remove the duct, but remember first remove the lint screen. This duct is held in place with 3 screws. These 2 on the left of the duct, and there's 1 more on the right. With the screws removed, we can now remove the duct. Alright, now this gives us access to remove the front panel. There are 6 screws that hold the front panel in place. 2 on the bottom, 2 near the top of the panel facing inside the dryer, and 2 at the very top of the panel. Remove the 4 lower screws first, and lastly the top 2 screws. Quick tip, these top screws are just loosened and not completely removed, as the front panel hangs on these screws. Next step is to grab the front panel and lift it slightly to remove it from the 2 intact screws. Once you have cleared the screws, tilt the panel forward and lift up the dryer drum to get it off the rollers attached to the front of the panel. Now the door is free, move it out of the way. Alright, time to release the tension on the belt running around the drum by lifting up on the idler pulley. Before you remove the dryer drum, make note or take a quick picture of the way it's installed in your dryer. Now with the belt loose, grab onto it and remove the drum. Okay, with the drum out of the way, we can see lots of metal flakes from the failed drum roller. To remove the drum roller, have to remove the tri-ring. Grab a flathead screwdriver to do this. Quick tip before installing the new drum roller. Clean up any lint and make sure the shaft is in good shape. If the shaft is in bad shape, it'll ruin your new bearing. Mine looks great, so time to move on with the repair. The kit I purchased came with all 4 drum rollers, belt, idler pulley wheel, and tri-rings. Quick check to make sure the new parts are the same size as the used ones, and everything looks like an exact match. Alright, time to give the inside a quick cleanup, getting rid of any lint, hair, before installing the new parts. With it nice and clean, time to install the new drum rollers and tri-rings. I switched out all 4 rollers and the wheel on the idler pulley. Okay, reinstall the drum, the same configuration it was removed. If you took a picture, just take a quick peek to make sure you're doing it correctly. Rest the drum on the rollers and then reinstall the belt. I used the new belt that came with the kit. Time to install the door panel. Slightly lift the drum, and with the door panel on a slight angle, place the drum on the rollers. Now place the door panel on the mounting screws and tighten the 6 screws. Quick tip, give the drum a spin to make sure that there's no twists in the belt. Let's reinstall the control panel. Note the lip on each side of the back of the control panel slides into the grooves on the dryer sidewalls. Give the control panel a gentle downward push to re-engage the clips. With the control panel in place, now we can reconnect the wire harness and the 2 ribbon cables to the computer board. Next, reinstall the 2 screws on the control panel and the 3 screws on the computer board. Time to move to the reinstall to the bottom of the dryer and reinstall the duct and tighten the 3 screws. With that done, reinstall the access panel and tighten the 3 screws that hold it in place. Final step, reinstall the lid and the 3 screws on the back and plug in the machine. Alright, almost done. Time to give the dryer a quick test. And mine sounds way better than it did. The clunking's gone. Hope you found this video helpful. Please leave a comment and subscribe.